Welcome to the Dead Bedroom Revival podcast. My name is Kuri, your host, and today is an exciting episode. And I know I say that all the time, but truly is an exciting part of thing that I will be talking about today. Is something that I enjoy talking about when I was a pickup artist and I used to coach. This was one of my domains, the seduction side of things. And with this topic that we're going to be covering today, 4 simple tricks that can make her beg for more sex. And when I say tricks, I don't mean like she's unaware and then all of a sudden she finds herself in bed. That's not what I mean, like some magic trick. But I'm just saying things that sort of certain behaviors and certain things that you can do within your seduction process, then that makes a desire to want to go back there again. So this is a very pivotal part when it comes to the seduction process. And when I speak to some people that are within a sexless marriage or a dead bedroom, one of the things that they say is we do occasionally have sex, but then we cannot do it frequently or as frequently as I would like. And they say sometimes when I do ask them about the experience during the time that we had sex, if they enjoyed it or if they didn't enjoy it, they say they did enjoy it and they seem to be enjoying it. But it's hard to get back to that point again where we can do it again even more frequently with shorter respites. So these 4 tricks are certainly things that I've learned when I was going through my own journey of discovering a way of getting freaky with it frequently. So, for lack of a better term. And so I'll go through this. And the first one is definitely being present when you're having sex. Now, one of the things, I'm just going to go through the 4 things and then I'll explain them in more detail. And then the other one is, number 2 would be to touch her all over her body. Now, that's going to be quite saucy when I go through that one because it's very interesting. And then use your voice to excite her. Wow, that's another one that is a miss that nobody uses and probably people are afraid to use. And people, when they do use it, they don't use it in a way that will bring excitement. And again, by no means is it one size fit all. You're going to have to find your own style when it comes to that. And then the last one is give her compliments. And this one is a miss, like one of the most underused one. And when it is used, it's actually used very wrong. So I'm going to show you the right way of really giving a compliment. So without further ado, we're going to go straight into it. And the first one, like I said, is being present when you're having sex. Now, this is one of the biggest reason why she doesn't come back. Because you are having this exciting period, and because you've spent so much time, with lack of a better term, you spent a long time hungry, and now you're about to feed, you go into a frenzy where you just really not taking that moment to savor the taste, to savor the moment, and to taste the flavors. And I'm using the food analogy, and I thought it would be easy if I use that one. But if you get what I'm trying to say, is that we rush through it, and then because you just want to get that or bust that nut, or just you're so excited that you really don't stop to be present. And what that means to be present is that you're fully engaged with what you're doing, and as you're kissing, you're feeling the lips, you're feeling how soft the lips are, you're feeling how amazing it is to kiss her neck, the warmth of her neck, everything that you're doing, you are enhancing the pleasure in yourself as well as you're enhancing the pleasure in your partner. And you are consciously going through the motions or at least the process of really just feeling every single thing and really being tentative to how they're feeling. And part of it as well, a good way of doing this is maintaining eye contact as well while you're doing this. So if the eyes are open, if she's closing her eyes, tell her to open her eyes, look into her eyes. And again, it just gives it the sense of being present, then it intensifies what you're doing at that point. So that's one trick of, well, one way of actually getting that person to come back, because they feel more connected to you when you can be present within that experience, or at least that session that you're having, that intimate session that you're having. So this is a very important one, and it's probably one that was the most pivotal in changing the frequency of our sexual encounters with my wife. Definitely the really being present within that experience made us feel closer to each other, and therefore she started viewing being close, or at least getting closer, sex as a tool of us getting closer rather than just a chore. So number 2 is touch her all over her body. So this is another thing that as soon as some guys get their hard on, they pretty much rush through foreplay, and then they rush through to get inside her, and then they rush through to get the orgasm. And this is okay if you're trying to have a quickie and it's spontaneous and it's somewhere where you can possibly get caught, so you need to finish quickly. That is something that you can do, and this can be exciting. But for all intents and purposes, when it comes to trying to get somebody to want to come back frequently to those sexual encounters, really taking your time to really be present, is one, but also just exploring that body. And one of the best ways of doing this is definitely introducing more massaging. So instead of doing the normal foreplay where you go down on her and do other things like that, you can actually get some massage oils. Scented ones is amazing, and instead you can do that with a candlelight music, or just go with the flow with that. One thing you can do is also do it in sort of there's a thing called Noru massage. It's like a Japanese style massage, so you're not using only your hands to massage the body, but you're also using your body, your body. So you can use your chest, or use your thighs. You can use your private areas, rub them around her body, as well as her doing the same with you. And again, that level of touch is intimate. It explores their body. It gives them that sense of being exposed, but the fact that you're so accepting of their body, it actually increases the value of that intimate moment. So again, this is underused. And if you start thinking to yourself in terms of your own relationship and the times that you've had sex, you can realize that you've rushed through things, and it has been really two bodies together, but your mind is somewhere else, her mind is somewhere else, and it's just people doing this act and really just waiting for that orgasm to happen. And in fact, I'm just going to touch on this point, and it's something that I'm going to allude more, or at least elaborate more on a different episode. That orgasm is not the destination. The orgasm is part of the process, but the real destination is that connection. So if you can reframe your mind when it comes to sex and being intimate in a relationship, then the majority of the time the goal should be the connection, that it should go beyond the orgasm. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't value the orgasm. You have to value the orgasm, because there are times, like I said, where you're being naughty, you're being freaky and doing something silly. You want to have sex quickly, maybe in the car, or maybe you're going to have a quickie somewhere where you might get caught, and it's a level of excitement, and the value then at that point is to the orgasm. And I guess you don't even have to wish for an orgasm, it happens so much quicker because of the excitement of possibly getting caught. So again, it's something that comes after you can build the foundation of that connection, because when you create that connection within that intimate space, it just creates this energy around sex that brings freedom for her and for you, and then increase the frequency. So touching all over her body is pivotal, huge, very huge, and I know I say that for the first one, but it's just as important. So the next one is to use your voice to excite her, and this is a huge one as well, because when it comes to talking dirty and flirting, and it's one of those things that we sort of copy what everybody else has done and what everybody else has said. So, spank me, or do you want me to spank you, and something that is unoriginal. But again, part of it is that even if you are being original, it isn't as important what you say. It's more important how you say what you're saying. So you could be saying the most random, awkward thing, but if you say that thing in the most confident and the most relaxed tone, most likely it will be well received. If you want to say something and then all of a sudden you feel nervous about it, and then you say it, then that nervous energy is transferred to your partner, and then all of a sudden it starts feeling awkward, and this is how that awkward experience happens. So what you say to excite her is got to do with you being relaxed, you really enjoying the moment, and you being in the moment. And also, like, when you're suggesting something, the moment you feel nervous about it, it's probably not the best time to say whatever is making you feel nervous. It's really better to be cultivating thoughts of, being confident, being dominant, being, loving, being charismatic, those are the things that you'll be trying to, being exciting. So all of those sort of thoughts that should be going around in your mind, and that's what's going to create that excitement, and be at least that creativity to say something that is going to be even more stimulating within that experience. And I can give you real examples right now, because I can't think of any examples, because whenever it's happened to me, I'm so much in the moment that I say the most random things. And several times it's actually happened where within the moment I would say something and it would increase the intensity and should even orgasm. But for the life of me, I cannot even give an example of everything. So again, it's one of those things that it now comes down to your personality, your humor, and the things that you share, and it's shared humor between you as a couple as well. So it's one of those things, using your voice to excite it. And again, I'll stress it again, it's not what you say, it's more about the feeling that you have while you're saying the things, because that's what creates that excitement. So last but not least, you have to give her compliments. Now, this is, again, I know I've said this huge, but this is also massive. It's massive because when people think about compliments, they only think about telling her how beautiful she is, how sexy she is, and yes, you have to do that. You have to say that. But when it comes to during sex, it's you're complimenting her on how amazing she is when she makes a move, or how amazing she is when she's backing that thing up, like, for a better term, how amazing it is when you slide your cock inside her, type thing. Stuff like that is, there is a dynamic that you take where you sort of put it in a good girl, bad girl thing. So you can tell her that certain behaviors that she's doing, she's being a very good girl, and then you're rewarding her with those compliments. So there's certain things that she would do, like maybe when she's riding you, like, how amazing it is that you're writing me like this, because and the way you'd say it would be more of a reward to her. And then there are times when you compliment, but you're complimenting the bad side of, like, her being a bad girl or being naughty or whatever. So there's certain things that when you are complimenting, you're trying to reward certain behavior. And if she does something that is you do not like, or is a turn off or something, it's something that you can not get annoyed or anything like that, or make it into a big deal, you can just quickly communicate and say, I suggest we do it this way. I'm not really feeling this way, or even attending to her needs as well. So you could ask her, can we do something that you would like? Now, there's something that whenever I talk about this bit about complimenting and being a good girl and bad girl, and these are the things that you can actually start talking about and say, what do you feel like you like the most? So some women like to feel like sluts within the that experience. She wants, because this whole time she's got this stigma of not behaving like a slut, but at one point she just wants to release and just become the biggest slut that's ever lived. And if she doesn't feel like she's going to be judged, and you want to reward that type of behavior, it will free her and make her feel amazing. And that comes through that complimenting side of things. Now, hopefully at that point, just this brief stuff I've shared with you right now, especially with the complimenting stuff, hopefully it's really changing your mind on how you compliment your wife when it comes to seduction and sex and everything. You can already see that it's quite different from what you thought. Because most people think if you can tell her that she's sexy, usually it's not enough to tell her that she's sexy. It's not enough to tell her that she's beautiful, because the marketing that is built around the world everywhere, social media, on TV, everything is telling women that they're not enough, they're not beautiful enough, they're not amazing enough in order to sell products. So they're already walking with the frame of mind that they're not good enough. So it's not enough for us guys to tell them that they're pretty, because the marketing information out there is much more noisy than we are. So it's more important for us to actually then pick out certain behaviors, or even just discuss on certain things, and especially when it comes to complimenting certain behaviors, whether she wants to be complimented as a really good girl or as a bad girl, or if it's like, as you test out some of these things, does she like being complimented about her pussy? Does she like to be complimented about her boobs? What is the thing that she likes to be complimented about? Is it the moves that she does? Is it there's certain things that you're going to discover as you go along, and it's going to be trial and error, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. But if at any point you feel nervous about it, you're better off just holding that compliment, because if you feel nervous, then she's going to feel nervous, and then you're just going to feel weird. So I want to knock it on the head here, because I've actually gone 8 minutes more than I would like to. But like I said, this one is an exciting one for me. And if you go to www.deadbedroomrevival, I'll start that again, is www.deadbedroomrevival.com. We'll be able to put in your details, get a free guide, 4 ways on how to seduce your partner. And once you get that guide, you'll be able to start implementing some of the things that we're teaching you here. For more information and more trainings that are even more in depth than this, join our Facebook group, where we'll be helping you to actually start getting more frequency within of sex within your relationship, and it's going to be so exciting. So I'm really excited to having to share some of these things with you guys. I'm really rooting for you. I know this is a very difficult experience, and I know you think you might not be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but I can guarantee you there is light at the end of the tunnel. You can actually do this. You can resolve this. It's something that can be fixed. So I'm really excited that you found us, and this is the beginning of a very beautiful journey, and I'm looking forward for you and your life and your family's life to transform, and it's going to be amazing. Thank you very much. Take care.